Welcome to the Travel Man Podcast, and on today's podcast I'll be chatting about some pretty unbelievable food experiences that I've had and also that Mandy's had while we've both travelled abroad and around Australia. So enjoy the podcast. So Mandy,
Yes.
We're back. We're going to do another podcast together.
The accidental podcaster returns.
The Accidental Podcaster. Are you excited about today's topic?
Always excited about food. I love cooking it.
Yeah.
I love preparing it. I love feeding people, and I especially love eating it.
There's some dough downstairs just doing its thing, isn't it?
It's pastry
in the fridge.
dough,
Pastry dough.
Sorry, tart dough. Actually.
Tart dough for a tarte tatin.
Correct. It's sitting in the fridge. It's got another 50 minutes to go.
Yep.
So I love food, if that's your question.
That is my question.
Yeah.
It is. It is. So there's 10 experiences that I wanted to highlight today.
Mm-hmm.
So luckily, you're with me, and we're going to have a chat about it.
I think I've experienced those with you.
Well,
Hopefully.
You have. Everything that I'll be talking about, you've been with me. So we can reminisce together about our favourite food experiences. So you are my travel buddy.
Sure.
And we could have probably listed more than 10 experiences. But if I think of any more, I'll just do a follow-up. Because I can think of a few now that I could have added.
Sure.
But
some honourable mentions.
Some honourable mentions. But I won't honourably mention them.
You can
today.
if you want.
Maybe at the end of the podcast.
Sure.
So I've rated these experiences on the food that we ate, the area or location that we were in, and if there was something special about the experience, in a whole.
Okay, yep.
So I'd like to think that the quality of food is paramount to the other experiences. So the food has to be good,
Sure.
but also the experiences come in as well. But
So
the food is the most important part.
Okay, yeah.
I've eaten some terrible and expensive food, probably just like yourself.
Yep.
That didn't blow me or you away, but has also emptied our pockets.
Yep.
And that food has been in some pretty amazing places, don't you think?
For sure. Like often, especially in Europe,
Yeah.
the places that are
exactly
the most well known
Europe.
are of the locations that are most popular are often the most expensive, and
For
the
sure.
food is subpar usually.
Well, there's two that I'd like to mention before we get into this top 10 list.
Yep.
Okay, so one place we both ate at, which was a pretty amazing location,
Yeah.
location being the key word,
Yeah.
was in an old town in your country, little
oh,
old town called Hua. Have I said that right?
Well, yeah, that's the island.
So
Huad.
that was our first meal in Hua. I don't know if you remember it like I remember it,
Yeah.
because it affected me more. Well, it didn't affect you.
No.
It affected only me. So we got off the boat. It was a pretty nice trip from, I think, Split,
Yeah, it would have been from Split.
from memory.
Yep.
I remember getting off the boat, walking on those beautiful big old cobbles.
Yes.
I remember our hotel was overlooking
right
the
there.
port, wasn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
So you get off the boat, you walk up
Uh-huh.
towards the hotel, and to our right, do you remember
It's a bit
there
of a
was
square.
that little bit of a square that kind of
Yep.
went up to another square, and in that square there was a bunch of restaurants.
That's right.
One of those restaurants that I picked. I think I picked it.
Sounds
So I
like
was
something
just
you pick.
Yeah, of course.
One thing you note about Travel Man Ben is he loves a location and he will love a view, so he will pick the restaurant that is right on the water or right in the square.
Look, I'm a bit of a sucker when it comes to that type of crap.
You want the experience.
I like the experience, but like I said before, if the food's shitty, it's going to come up on this list as a
Okay.
negative
All right.
food experience.
Okay.
Luckily, all the rest are very positive food experiences. So this place was an Italian restaurant.
Italian restaurant in Croatia, that makes sense.
So I had some really tasty, not so tasty pizza.
Okay, yep.
So I remember this experience because this experience has kind of fused in my memory.
Okay.
It's like it's there forever. So what happened was I ordered a pizza in Croatian. I said, Borg, je voudrais a pizza pour moi. Wait, that's French.
Wow.
How would I say it in Croatian? Like, hi, can I please have a pizza? I'm from Australia.
Jabitia pizza.
Jabitica pizza.
Yeah, close enough.
Anyway, so I ordered a pizza and I was like beyond hungry at this point.
Yeah.
So the pizza arrived. It was hot and steaming.
That's good. Good sign.
My belly was rumbling.
Good sign.
Yeah, because my belly rumbles quite a lot when I'm hungry. Along with the pizza was the longest, blackest, dirtiest looking hair I'd ever seen.
That's a bit gross.
Stuck
How come I don't remember this?
inside the dough.
But do we eat the same thing?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, that was my pizza.
That
You
makes
had
sense.
You probably would have had some fish. Bloody shit.
Fish of the area, which
Fish
makes
of the
sense.
sea. Riba of the more.
Yeah, that's right. Close enough.
Yeah. So, as you can probably work out, you solitary person, I
That one
vomited
listener.
everywhere. I didn't vomit, but I was really bloody...
Did you eat it?
No,
I don't remember.
I didn't touch it. I don't even think they asked me, can we replace it?
I don't even think we told them.
No, I don't think we told them. Maybe I ate like a piece from this. Maybe I'd had a few slices and then found that hair.
Anyway, needless to say, further away from the square is you get better food.
Can I tell you, though, a bugbear of mine is finding hair in food?
Yeah, look,
In general?
no one likes it, but I don't think the chef means to do it.
Depends if he wants to close the business down.
Yeah, I don't think they want to close their own businesses, though.
Other than that, though, Hra is awesome.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
And if you were to walk the perimeter of the island, which is probably a day thing.
The whole island?
Yeah.
Oh, I
Could
don't
you do
think
that?
So. No.
Maybe just walk up to where some boats are moored. It's really crystal clear
It's actually
water.
beautiful water, yeah.
So bloody cool. But maybe a Hra podcast will come out one day.
I think we have to go back to remember.
Well, we might be going back next year.
Yeah.
Might.
Might. Can't decide.
Okay, so the second place I'm thinking about is a place that you've eaten at as well.
Okay.
It's the Royal Palace in Stockholm.
Right.
From memory, we had two coffees. Two coffees.
Coffee, we were in Malaysia.
We're having a coffee. We're having two coffees. So two coffees, an orange juice,
No,
perhaps a water.
I think it was
What do you think
two
it was?
orange juices.
Okay, so no coffee.
I don't think so. 2 waters.
Yep, 2 waters.
And a piece of cake. I'm pretty sure.
So 2 orange juices.
Yeah. 2 waters,
and
and a piece of cake.
Was it 1 piece of cake?
1 piece of cake.
Or was it chocolate cake?
No, it was
Some crappy
some sort
Swedish
of Swedish cake.
Yeah,
The
I thought
princess
so.
cake or something like that. Yeah, something like that. Because we were in the Royal Palace.
So for all that, you would think, all right, maybe it will cost me $25.
So
Australian.
let's give him a bit of a context.
All right.
We
talk
had
about
arrived in Sweden, in Stockholm, about midnight the night before, by the time we got to our hotel.
That's true.
And
what a hotel that
whilst
was.
we were booking things, I booked the Hilton or the Hyatt, one of those. Hilton, I think.
Probably Hilton.
And I'd booked it because, not because we're high rollers, but I booked it because...
We're low rollers.
because it was really cheap.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is amazing. Sweden's going to be... I don't know what everyone's talking about. It's not that bad in terms of price. So I bought some kronas from Australia. I'd already had some.
That's right.
And when we woke up the next morning, I didn't check any exchange rates as a banker. I should have known that.
Yeah.
But we went to the Grand Palace or the Royal Palace. That was the first thing we were going to do.
Yeah.
And then obviously we were hungry, mid-morning snack, and that's what we bought: 2 freshly squeezed orange juices, 2 waters, and a princess cake. I'm pretty sure it's what it's called.
Princess cake?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
What's that?
Some Swedish cake, I don't know.
Okay.
And then I'd paid for it, whatever was asked, in my kronas, and I sat down and we came across some Australian tourists that had come via a cruise.
They were so sweet.
They were a really nice couple, and obviously our accents stick out a mile away, so we were able to have a quick chat, and we were talking, and then they mentioned how expensive Stockholm was in Sweden, and I said, what do you mean? And she said, well, this is the exchange rate. And I quickly did the calculation, and do you remember how much it cost us?
$42?
$42. 2 freshly squeezed orange juices, 2 waters, and a piece of cake. How many times do I have to say that? But that's how much it cost us.
Look, the cheapest thing we ate though was hot dogs at a roadside vendor
near the museum.
near
I
the
think.
museum, Vasa Museum, which is
Yeah.
unbelievable museum.
And they were really good hot dogs. They were top-notch quality. They weren't like New York style. They were real good.
And these two stories actually are linked because the other good meal we had was a pizza.
Oh, yeah.
Look, you can't go wrong eating. Wait, you
Yes,
can
you
go
can.
wrong eating pizza overseas if it's not in Italy. But then
I don't think we ate pizza. I know we did. We would have.
Bombshell, the best pizza isn't necessarily in Italy.
No.
Anyway,
it's in our
let people
backyard.
stew on that. Very funny, very funny. So I'm gonna do it now. This is the top 10 best food experiences we've had ever.
Whoa. I don't think ever.
So maybe
Maybe.
we've had some pretty good ones back home here
Yeah.
where we are now.
Yeah.
So in no particular order,
Mm-hmm.
this is number 10, Spoon Restaurant, Budapest, Hungary.
Yes.
So I remember eating a beautiful side of venison,
Mhm.
venison which is deer meat,
Yeah.
which was probably medium rare,
Mm-hmm.
wonderfully
Always
cooked,
medium rare.
wonderfully cooked. And the restaurant is actually still around. So Spoon Restaurant is still there, moored in the Danube River.
So it was my birthday.
It sounds really wanky though to go and eat in a
Well,
boat
I
restaurant.
was just going to mention it was my birthday that day, and we
Your
were.
birthday's coming up next week
It
too.
is. It is.
Happy birthday for
Thank
next
you.
week.
So we were walking around Hungary and Budapest, and we were walking around Budapest,
We were walking around.
and we
We
had
were walking around Hungary in Budapest.
yes, but during the day we'd done our little sightseeing. And you said to me as we walked past this restaurant, let's go eat here tonight for your birthday. And I said, I'm not eating on a boat. That looks that's
It's
stupid.
bloody stupid.
That's ridiculous. I'm not eating on a boat. How tacky. But I went along with her
I
because
like tacky.
maybe we even looked at the menu and we
Mm,
agreed. No? Okay. We just said we're eating on a boat.
Just wanted to eat in a boat.
So I went with you on the boat and I was really surprised. It was actually really beautiful. And we
Yeah.
started with
It was so good.
some
The Hungarian
Hungarian
sparkling, was it?
yeah. And I
2
said,
glasses.
yeah, and I said to the guy, oh my gosh, this is really great. How come we don't get this in Australia? He goes, we don't make enough to really export too
You mean-
much.
We don't make enough to export much.
I don't know.
Wait, that's Russian.
And but it was really amazing and we had great food. But
It was great.
all I remember is your venison. I don't actually remember what I ate. It was probably fish.
I think you tried to eat my venison.
Definitely.
I think you ate fish.
Probably. I always eat fish.
But the restaurant's beautiful. It's so chic inside.
Really? Yeah.
It's really high class
sounds-
quality ornate furnishings and shit.
Yeah.
Shit.
It sounds like it'd be really tacky, but it's actually not.
Okay, so imagine Versailles eating in one of those rooms in Versailles. It's
On a
really,
boat.
it's like that.
Oh,
I
it's a
looked
bit more
at
modern
recent
than-
pictures.
oh,
A
really?
bit more modern.
A little bit more modern. Yeah.
But still feels great. They actually say, I think they say their food's like fusion food.
Fusion
Romanian.
of.
Well, not Romanian, Hungarian
And?
fusion food. Well, just fusion food.
Anyway, it was delicious. I thought it was great.
Was that in the second time that we went to Europe, 2006, together?
Yes, I think
second
so.
time together.
Yeah.
So, if you're in Budapest, I was going to say before I wrap Spoon up, which Spoon is so good. If you're ever in Budapest, try and see if you can get to Spoon Restaurant and try the venison. It's really good. But if you're in Budapest, don't miss going to Buda Castle, St. Stephen's Basilica, which was beautiful,
Gallet Hill.
and Gallet Hill, and also cruise down the Danube.
Oh yeah.
Because that's a
Beautiful.
lot of fun. You can't just
Great
say,
city.
I've been on the Danube because I was on Spoon Restaurant.
It's a great city actually.
It's a really super awesome city. So I enjoyed that time in Hungary. I've got some other stories about Budapest, like being stuck in a plane for hours, but maybe I can talk about that another time. Number 9.
Yep.
This is no particular order, remember. This is Roy's Diner.
Oh, Oh,
So this is the
Toowoomba
only
South.
Australian entry. Toowoomba South, Victoria.
yeah.
So I ate, because I don't know what Mandy ate.
I do. I remember I had chicken. It was delicious.
So you had chicken.
Yeah.
So I ate one of the best pork chops I've ever had. Best ever. I know the service there can be terrible sometimes because I've
Bit
read
slow.
some recent reviews.
Oh, really?
And I remember it just being a bit
Slow. Yeah.
very slow.
It's the country.
But it's a country. Country people are a bit... I'm
Don't
not
say
going to
that.
go there. I'm not going to go there. Country people are awesome. Anyway, the ambience was pretty
Average?
average, but the food was amazing. I remember the pork chop being super juicy, had a crusty crackling on the top,
Yep.
and it was topped with apples and sauerkraut and with a side of mashed potatoes on the
Sounds
side.
delicious.
It was really, really bloody good. So if you're ever in Victoria, country Victoria, go to Toowoomba South, which is located in the Kiewa Valley near Mount Beauty, which is
So
also
beautiful.
picturesque.
Mm.
There's plenty of wineries nearby.
Cheese.
Cheese. There's mountains
Good
to
food.
explore, like do some bushwalking or hiking, whatever
It's
you
good
want to
food
do.
around that area too.
And remember Pizzini Winery?
Oh my god.
It's in the King Valley.
Yes.
Close enough.
Also Chicanti.
Chicanti wineries. You can also visit Bright or Myrtleford.
Yes.
It's kind of similar areas. Probably an hour or two in between.
It's a nice drive around that area. Wherever you go, it's really picturesque.
But if you're in Victoria in winter, Falls Creek is really close, and Mount Buffalo, which we went up to Mount
Yeah.
Buffalo, remember? And then we came down and we thought,
We had no petrol.
we got no fuel. So we just chucked it in neutral and it went all the way down. So we're kind of nearly skiing in the car.
Yeah. It was good.
So mountains are a massively popular place in Victoria to visit in the winter.
And
So-
in the summer. I mean, it's
in the
beautiful
summer
in
for
the
your
summer.
bushwalks or
Yeah.
spring, especially now.
Yeah.
Now, so the mountains would be beautiful. But beware of snakes.
Definitely. Beware of everything in Australia.
Beware of everything, but don't miss out on Roy's Diner. Even though the last couple of reviews, they've been giving 1 stars.
Really?
Yeah, it's real bad.
Wow.
Real bad. Apparently one of the waitresses there is so rude.
It makes me laugh.
Yeah, it's funny though. So that was Roy's Diner.
Yep.
Now we got number 8, Bucamario in Florence, Italy.
Bucamario.
Probably Florence, one of Mandy's favourite cities
Yes.
in the world or in Italy.
Too hard to choose, but in Italy for sure.
So I remember gorging on some bloody amazing stewed wild boar. It was delightful.
And it was amazing.
I think they probably would have served like potatoes on the side. I'm
Probably.
thinking.
It was in a maybe potatoes
beans or something.
polenta even. Who
So I
knows?
can't remember what was served with the wild boar.
Yeah.
I just remember the wild boar being very sweet,
Flavoursome.
flavoursome, juicy, and falling off the fork.
Yes. I tried it too and I loved it.
Do you remember what you had?
It'll be fish.
Man, you and your fish. Anyway,
I think it was something along those lines. It's a real traditional restaurant.
yeah.
It's in, I believe we have to go downstairs to get to it
Mm.
in a cellar sort of.
Yes. There's
And it was a recommendation
located
actually.
below street level.
And it was a
Who recommended it?
our hotel.
See, I'm going to talk about that later, but hotels, if you want to know where to eat, always ask your hotel.
But a caveat I'll
but
put
what?
on that is that
What's the caveat?
the caveat is you need to actually become quite friendly with the people that work there.
Well, if you're going to be an idiot or a prick,
No, I mean,
they're not going to like you.
they can give you some poor recommendations, and then if you
Of course.
if you're quite nice to people and you get to know them, they give you good recommendations.
Of course, Mandy. Of
Um,
course. Did you enjoy that it was in a basement? I kind of loved it.
It was so cute.
I love the
It was
ambience.
really traditional,
Yeah.
and I think it's a family-run business. It has been for quite some time.
Yeah, it's an old establishment. Actually, the building dates back to the 16th century.
Wow.
It's called, and you know what Booker stands for? Hole or pit.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So it's or even pothole.
Yep.
So Booker Mario means the Mario's pit.
That's cool. I like
Mario's
that.
got some pits. But inside is a really nice arrangement of Italian pictures. I don't know if you remembered.
Yep.
I looked at photos on the internet.
Traditional pictures, old pictures.
And the walls were part painted and part stone cladding.
Yeah.
So it's really, it's like a real
like a
traditional
cellar. Yeah.
It's like eating in a cellar. But I just thought it was really cool that it's from the 16th
loved
century.
it when I paid the bill.
Yeah.
And
they gave you a stone pallets to write the amount on. It's like the Flintstones.
Really?
No.
I paid the bill and there was an older lady at the register. And there
You mean a bubba?
No, a nonna.
A nonna.
And she gave me an apron with Book of Mario on the front of it, like a picture and that.
We still have that apron.
I wasn't special. It was everyone got one.
We had mentioned Daddy Boy was a food critic.
No, did we?
Yeah, we did.
I think we also
and then they were excited about
mentioned that we were from Australia as well. And they were really cute, really excited that we had come to the restaurant, and it was really nice.
Man, they're so cute.
They were. It was amazing.
If I go back to Florence, I'm going to go there.
Yes.
You know what else I'll be going back to? The Boboli Gardens.
Oh, I loved it.
The Uffizi Gallery.
Yes. Although I'm pretty exhausted from
galleries.
Catholic art.
Catholic. I love
religious
Catholic art. Something about religious art.
Oh, no.
It
I had enough.
soothes the soul.
Yeah.
But Uffizi Gallery will be talking on an upcoming podcast because we're going to do a podcast on the best galleries and museums. So there'll be the 20 best.
Yeah.
They'll be coming up pretty soon. Number 7 is an unknown restaurant. I couldn't find the name of it.
Yeah.
It's in Venice, Italy.
Okay, yeah.
So not Venice, LA.
No.
Although there's a very nice restaurant in Venice, LA as well.
Yes.
Which I'm not going into.
Oh, you're not mentioning it.
I've mentioned it on other podcasts. It's that vegan restaurant, which blew me away, but it didn't make this list.
Okay.
So it's on the short list.
Mm-hmm.
So this unknown Venetian Italian restaurant was around the corner from the hotel where we were staying.
Do you remember the hotel we stayed in?
No, but do you? Because if you remember the hotel, we can try and figure out the restaurant.
Let me use some technology
so
to see
while
whether
you're
I can find
doing
it.
all the tech stuff, I was going to say the food was bloody good. Do you remember what we ate? Remember it was that salt encrusted cod or fish, whatever it was?
So they baked a whole fish in a salt crust.
Salt crust, which the waiter had to physically scrape off in front of us into some bowl or cavity or something. Do you remember that?
No, he took it all. Yeah, he took the
was
crust
scraping
off.
it in front of us. And didn't he then shear the fish off the bone for us? Or take it off the bone and put it on our
didn't
plates?
Shear it, but yeah, he did. He did.
He didn't shear it.
He did actually take it apart for us, yeah.
And the good thing about this restaurant too, it's right near the canal. So
they're all near canals, Ben. It's Venice.
But the good thing also about this restaurant is that you could see the canal while you eat. Although I think I had my back to the canal.
It was really nice.
But it was gorgeous anyway. Beautiful restaurant. Mandy's trying to figure out where we actually stayed, but she can't remember.
The name of the hotel that I remembered was actually the one we stayed in Rome, but not
what was
Venice.
the one in Rome?
Hotel Condotti.
Hotel Condotti. Condottiere. I've got that card game. Condottiere.
Maybe it's all a mix of board games / cities / hotels. I'm not sure, but again, another hotel recommendation.
Do you remember if the fish was the only thing we ate there?
We went back twice and we ate the fish twice.
Yeah.
The other great dish that Venetians have, because as you can tell from this whole conversation, I really love fish.
Yes.
It's my favourite food.
Mandy's a fishaholic.
And the one great traditional dish they have in Venice is a sardine dish. And they do it with like vinegar and
awesome.
Onions, and it's just delicious. And I don't know if you remember, in Venice, we went to another place. It was kind of felt like it was not a tavern, but it had bench seating, and it was a really different sort of restaurant in Venice, and we had that dish then.
You mean when I brought a pie into a local church? When we were sitting on a pew and I was eating a pie with sauce? Wait, that was in Victoria.
No, and it was near some mask. I don't know.
A musk.
Masks. You
What's
know,
a
where
mask?
they make masks in
Mask.
Venice? Mask.
Musk. What did your parents used to say to you when something scary came on the TV? Come on, say it.
Don't worry, it's just a mask.
Just a mask. It's just a mask. Anyway,
Anyway,
going way off topic, talking about masks, but I love all that
hotel
stuff.
recommendations. We found very quickly in Venice, I think because we went in a very popular time, maybe it was July, August,
Yeah.
that they don't really care if you come to their restaurants or not.
They couldn't give two craps.
They don't care if you're waiting to be served or not.
No, they don't
And
care.
if it's busy, good luck.
Good luck to you, mate.
So when we were in the hotel, and I suppose it's different if it's not so busy, maybe.
Oh, maybe.
But when we were in the hotel, we were like obviously venting our frustration, and we said to him, "Listen, can you just tell us where you eat? Where do you go to eat?"
Yeah, where do you go to
And
eat?
so they told us this place.
They said we leave Venice. We physically leave Venice and then go to
So,
mainland
if
Italy.
you were planning to eat in Venice, where would you eat? Yeah, but I think there's a lot more places now that are.
I would say it's totally different now. It's been 8 years.
It's a couple of my staff that are in Venice at the moment, and they're loving it.
They're loving it.
It's good.
Loving it. You shout out to them?
No, it's okay.
No, it's cool.
They know who they are.
Okay, they're good people. Good people. Now, if you're in Venice, don't miss Piazza San Marco.
Of course.
That big plaza kind of place.
Piazza,
It's
maybe?
Piazza. Also, ride on a local ferry because
Yeah.
the gondolas are very expensive. Mandy didn't allow me to ride a gondola when I was there, and I was upset. But I was happy to ride the local
God.
ferry to that little island. Where did we go again?
Murano.
Murano, not Burano,
Not
but
Burano.
Murano.
Murano.
Murano make the glass.
Glass,
Burano do the
Glass.
coloured glass. Well, I don't know.
I don't know.
Anyway, also check out St. Mark's Basilica if you're there.
Yep. There's, you know what the
Um,
best thing to do in Venice is?
To get lost in narrow
Just
laneways
get
and
lost.
canals.
Just
Yeah.
get lost.
Okay,
It's the best.
that's true. True.
There's some
true.
kooky characters in Venice.
Venice is a very cool place.
Very cool.
Very touristy also.
True.
So, that was Venice. Number 6 is an unknown restaurant in Dubrovnik.
Oh.
Croatia, the land of Mandy. This is where I first tried that squid ink risotto, remember?
Yep. Crni risotto.
Crni risotto. I remember eating a pretty, I think it was a classy restaurant. It was by the port in Dubrovnik, near the wall.
Yep. On the outside of the wall.
On the
actually.
outside of the wall. So this was outside.
Just on the outside.
And it was near Marina.
Yep.
Yep, so that's all good.
There's always boats around everywhere.
Oh, of course. I mean,
But yeah.
Croatia's just got plenty of boats.
Yeah.
They say there's more boats to people ratios.
Well, I don't think they do, but anyway. I never heard that statistic.
It's a very true statistic. Just like the Kiwis, there's more sheep than people.
Oh, that's true. I've been there.
I hated risotto as a kid.
Really?
I hated it. But this risotto was
Just like
al dente. It
what's
was
that other
creamy.
dish you hate? A ratatouille.
Ratatouille.
Ratatouille, you hate it.
Yeah.
Do you like it now as an adult or?
Ratatouille.
Mm.
Oh, no, I hate it. It's some southern French dish that's crap.
Your dad always.
shouldn't
No, it's delicious.
No, it's not.
Yeah, I really like it.
No.
Anyway, sorry.
You know what I was just thinking about?
What's that?
When we're talking about Venice, that food we ate, we didn't really talk about the fish.
I have no idea what the fish was.
No. Anyway,
But it was
more the
delicious.
experience.
No, but it was delicious.
It was good fish, but it was the
amazing.
way it was served to us.
Yeah.
Anyway, I
Sorry.
digress. Let's go back to this meal I had in Dubrovnik,
Squid
which was
ink.
the squid ink risotto.
Mm.
If you're ever in Croatia, it's a bit of a delicacy, especially on the coast.
Yes.
So
So
try it out.
further north, there's a lot of meat dishes, but
Mm.
the southern parts and coastal parts of Croatia, they do fish the best.
People are probably going to wonder, does it taste like squid?
It does.
But
Definitely. It's cuttlefish.
the oil is flavorless.
The oil, the ink.
The ink is flavorless.
It does
It's
have
just
have a little bit of a taste, but
Yeah,
it's
I don't know about that.
but you get the flavor of
you
the
get the flavor because
cuttlefish.
there's cuddled fish cut through it.
Yeah.
And I think there was, maybe I'm wrong, but slices of bacon I remember through
Potentially.
it
Yeah.
as well.
I'm sure there's variations.
I really wish I could remember the name of the restaurant though.
I wouldn't have a clue. Sorry,
Yeah.
guys.
Nah, that's all right.
Just look around for restaurants that aren't in the main on the main street.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
call it a main street, the main walking street in
yeah.
Dubrovnik. Just look a bit further afield and walk up those stairs
Look
to
at-
higher parts.
I guess it doesn't matter. Just eat anywhere in Dubrovnik. I'm sure it's going to be okay, but it's going to be touristy and probably
But that's what I'm
expensive
saying
these days.
is go away from the main
yeah.
walking street and walk up, because remember, it's quite hilly as you keep walking up.
Well,
It's a whole bunch of stairs, and so keep going and get a meal that's outside of the main street.
do you know what they call the actual walk around
The wall?
the wall? Is called Murals de Dubrovnik.
Okay. Sounds
Apparently.
French.
I know, Murals de Dubrovnik. That's what I looked up. It was
Really?
on some Croatian website.
So we haven't been there since the whole
It's-
Game of Thrones phenomenon.
Well, I'm going to talk about that because
Oh,
it's
sorry.
a fancy. That Murals, sorry, cutting you off. Murals de Dubrovnik is a fancy word for the walls of Dubrovnik. Maybe I'm pronouncing it wrong. Maybe I went to a French translated site. That happens sometimes. But if you're able-bodied, if you can get up steps, you should be able to do the walk around the old town. True, I don't think there's access to
What's that?
a walk around the walls, the top of the walls. I don't
Yeah.
think there's access for disabled
I'm
people.
not sure.
I'm thinking this is something for able-bodied people. And like Mandy said, if you are a Game of Thrones fan, then maybe you want to see King's Landing.
Yeah.
That's filmed near the wall or parts of the wall.
Mm-hmm.
And there's
Dubrovnik.
also a tour that goes out to Lokrum Island.
Oh, Lokrum. Mm-hmm.
Lokrum. And that is also where they filmed, I guess, portions of Game of Thrones.
It's pretty cool. Like again, my staff went there and
Yeah.
she showed me photos, and
Did she sit on the Iron Throne?
she did.
Really?
Yeah. And
Such a crap series, isn't it?
for people that don't watch it, yeah.
I'm just kidding.
So they show you pictures, because obviously there's a lot of computer
Generated AI. It's called AI, love.
Sorry, love. And so they show pictures of the now, and then
The now.
what it looks like now, and then with the AI inserted into it where it all happens.
They add
how it
so
makes it
much,
looks-
though.
They had people, they had
They add
scenery.
everything. But, yeah.
It's very cool though. I want to go back.
Yeah, well, maybe we
Sounds
can
like
go
we're
back
going
next
back
year.
to everywhere we've been before.
Well, okay. So that was the Sunny Rijot, which I really, really enjoyed. Number 5 is croissant and baguette sandwiches in Paris, France, Australia. France. I love Paris, France, Australia.
Croissants and baguette.
Croissants avec baguette sandwiches. So
Wow,
that would be
I've never
delicious.
had that before.
So you get some baguette, you open it up, and you put a croissant in there, and then you eat
wow.
it. So it's double the amount
I
of
don't
carbs.
think that's what. Do you mean the croissants in Paris and the baguettes
I do.
in Paris?
I do. So the best baguette I've ever eaten in the world is in the streets of Paris.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure you can probably eat good baguettes in Vietnam
Oh yeah.
because they were colonized by the French.
Yep.
Still have a bit of a presence there, and also,
But
I've eaten okay baguettes here, but nothing like the stuff you get in France.
well, remember that in France they have an award for the best baguette every year
They do, yeah.
to a bakery, and they won't. There's no preservatives, and so people buy their baguettes every day because they do go
Did
stale.
you say baguettes? Baguettes.
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 They buy their baguettes every day because they do go stale, and so
I know criminals use them to beat people off after a couple of
pretty
days
hard
of
after
getting
that.
stale.
So your lunch of choice in
Yeah.
Paris is always a baguette, I reckon.
And it's usually with
Jambon,
jambon beurre,
and
so that means it's ham,
and
cut
butter.
off the bone, and
Mm.
butter. And some of them actually even put some Swiss cheese.
You
and
don't
stuff
even
like
need that rubbish. You just need butter and ham.
Butter and ham. And it's a layering of butter. It's quite a lot of butter.
Yeah, and it's
Usually
salted.
butter as well. But it's so crispy and crunchy.
Mhm.
And they don't toast it because if you toast a fresh baguette,
baguette.
then you're destroying it.
You're destroying
Because you
the
want to have that
crustiness
flavor of the crustiness
and the
fighting
softness
through the
inside.
saltiness of the ham and Jesus. It's the best in the world, some of those baguettes. And they're usually only sold in these little quaint shops or little vendors and stuff. Even like a vendor.
Street vendor.
Remember when we were in Chenonceau? Chateau Chenonceau, and I think I bought
Oh,
a
yeah.
baguette from a little
Yeah.
vendor. Remember, out from the
Sure.
front, and
Yep.
oh god, it was so
It's
good.
good. And croissants are like nowhere else. They can't duplicate it anywhere else.
Yeah.
It doesn't taste the same. They're buttery, they're flaky, they're amazing in Paris. And it's okay to put on about 10 kilos while you're over there. I reckon it's all right. Just eat.
I think probably France would have the best bakery goods in the
I
world.
like them. And those shops with just, rows and rows of pastries. Oh, my God.
Don't.
I've already had
What
breakfast.
about-
What
what
did we
about-
have for breakfast?
Croissants.
They weren't that good.
No, because they're Sara Lee shit.
Store bought.
Yeah,
I
it's
don't think
not-
it's Sara
it's
Lee,
not-
but they're store bought.
They were Sara Lee.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, when you're in Paris, don't miss some of these gardens, because I ate a really good jambon beurre in one of these gardens once. I remember eating it. I don't know if it was Jardin des Tuileries, but you got Jardin de Luxembourg. You
Yep.
can check out Jardin des Tuileries, Jardin des Plantes.
Yeah, I love that one.
So this is
to
Garden
Natural
of
History
Luxembourg,
Museum.
Garden of the Tuileries, Garden of the Plants.
Yep.
Yeah, Natural History Museum. Did
Next
you say?
to the Jardin des Plantes.
right near it. So while you're also at the Tuileries, it's right next to the Louvre.
Yes.
So see the Louvre. Don't miss out on the Louvre either. Plenty
Yeah.
to do in France, and plenty of really, really, really good eating in Paris.
Yep.
So enjoy that. Don't miss out. Number 4. Four
Unknown
fingers.
restaurant.
No. This is not unknown. This is quite known. This is Le Relais de Venise, the original
entrecôte.
one in Paris.
Oh, amazing.
And we ate there with my cousin Magli, her partner Bertrand, and their little kid Max, who's not so little anymore.
That's
but
right.
He's so freaking cute. I've spoken about Le Relais de Venise a couple of times because of the one in America, in New York.
The New York, yep. Which, can I add, is
yeah.
pretty good. It's almost identical.
It's pretty much identical,
Yeah.
yeah. So this is a French steak restaurant that
Yep.
serves you steak and fries, and that's about it, and some
So,
salad.
One item on the menu.
Bloody brilliant, though.
You can choose to have your steak 3 ways:
3 ways.
rare, medium, or well done. Do not ask for medium rare. It doesn't exist.
If you ask for well done, they might slap you in the face, especially in Paris.
So the cost is really very reasonable, and it's probably something along the lines of $28 or $30, I think, for each
Probably.
per person. And what you get is 2 servings of steak. So what I mean by that is there's sliced up pieces of steak with this amazing sauce, and chips, and you
Yep.
get that twice.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
you're full. And to commence your dinner, you will have a walnut salad with a traditional Dijon dressing.
Yep.
And that is a really nice way to start. The wine, the house red,
Yep.
is phenomenal. It's a, I think it's a Burgundy
Yep.
that they serve, or a,
I think it's a Burgundy.
is it a Burgundy?
It wouldn't be an Australian Shiraz.
No, I'm pretty sure it's a Burgundy. And then you can choose to have dessert, traditional French desserts.
Which is what? Do you remember?
We didn't have that. We actually had a plate of cheeses, and they're again
yeah.
French cheeses, and they're only like $10, and you get a heap. You
See,
are full.
Yeah, that's another experience, just eating French cheese in France.
Yeah,
Or French cheese in French.
unpasteurized. None of.
Do you remember when we ate? It was like 2013 when
Just
we were
before,
there with
just
Max,
before we went home.
Maxie and
That was our
Bertrand and
last
Max.
meal.
It was.
Mm.
And then we went to that nice park.
Yep. Bois de Boulogne.
Bois de Boulogne, yeah. It was really nice.
It was amazing.
I remember we couldn't get a park anywhere. Bertrand was driving around for a bit before we parked somewhere. And then
Yeah.
we had to wait in a bit of a line
Bit of a queue, yeah.
for about 15, 20 minutes. And then we went upstairs
Yes.
to where we sat, and all the tables aligned with that like red and white checkered
Tablecloths.
tablecloths. It's really nice. And the place was on one of those
It was on a corner.
corner buildings.
The thing with I think there's some copycat places in Paris
there
as well.
absolutely
but
is
I would
a
definitely
copycat,
go
yeah.
to the original because it's worth it.
Yeah, but yeah, if you haven't been to Le Relais de Venice and you're in Paris, or even if you're in America,
I think there's another one even
in London,
yeah.
you can go check it out.
It's great.
It's actually quite affordable food.
Definitely.
Check it out, and you won't go wrong. It's really tasty, especially if you're a vegan. What?
Sure.
Okay,
You can have the chips.
You can have. It's probably cooked
So
in animal fat.
I tried to replicate the sauce
Yeah.
last week.
Yeah, I know.
And it was close, but not identical.
And
I couldn't get it right.
What was the star of that sauce?
Chicken livers.
Chicken livers.
Sounds gross, but it's really nice.
Sounds gross, but it's tasty as.
Yeah.
So that was number 4.
Yep.
Number 3 is Bumbu Bali, Indonesia.
Bumbu
What
Bali.
an experience.
3
This place
times.
is awesome. 3 times. There's Bumbu Bali 1
Yeah.
and there's Bumbu Bali 2.
Yep.
I don't know if there's a Bumbu Bali 3, but I'm sure it would be spicier than 2 because it kind of went from number 1 being not so spicy, number 2 they blew your head off.
Yeah.
So I don't know what the deal is there. But we were there probably 4 months ago when we were in
June,
Bali with my brothers Matt and Pat and Patrick's wife Zoe. We had a cool little holiday. Hopefully we can have one of those again soon. But the experience at Bumbu Bali was really, really tasty Indonesian food.
It's it's not Indonesian, it's Balinese.
Balinesian food. But
Yeah.
I felt like it had a what do you call it? Like another like it wasn't proper Balinesian food. Like it had an
Oh, you
outside
think?
experience, like an outside
Influence.
by that. The chef is Swedish or
Danish. I don't
or
know.
he could even be Dutch. But I actually felt like it had an outside influence. That's what I'm trying to say.
But I loved the food. It was hot, which is great.
Yeah.
It was really fresh.
And those big fresh chilies, remember,
Oh,
that
yeah.
I ate?
Yep.
They were tasty.
And it had a great mix of meat dishes
Little
and
skewers.
veggie and satay and
Oh, it's so good.
my sister-in-law and I bought the
cookbooks.
The cookbooks, and we've done some Indonesian or Balinesian nights.
Yeah, we've had Balinesian food nights at our house. So
Yeah.
if you're a listener and you want to come, just let me know.
But the
Only
recipe, there's a lot that goes into it actually
Yeah.
to produce that food. A lot of preparation and mincing of
there is.
things and chilies and galangal and all that sort of stuff. Yeah, it's great. It was a great restaurant and really quite
It's
of a
in
nice
Nusa Dua too, if someone's wondering.
nice experience.
Not Nusa Dua, actually. Nusa Dua is
Benoa Beach.
Benoa Beach. It's in Benoa Beach. Nusa Dua is up from Benoa Beach. So
Yeah,
if you're staying in Benoa Beach, even if you're in Nusa Dua, you can get
of course.
you can
it's
get
not
to
far.
Bumbu Bali in the taxi.
10 minutes.
And it's probably cost you
Probably better
Indonesian
than-
rupees, maybe nothing.
Probably better than all the food.
Yeah,
Benoa.
yeah. So, there wasn't really any good food around there except
No.
for Bumbu Bali, where you probably pay a little bit extra, but it was just fantastic.
Definitely.
You can tell that they really
It was probably about
pride themselves on good
$25
quality food.
a head, $25 to $30 a head.
Probably, but for that type of money, you're getting so much food,
And plus
and
drinks.
you're not going home hungry.
No, not at all. It was great.
It was very good,
And we
very
all
good.
loved it.
Yes, we did. So that was number 3, Bumbu Bali. Number 2
Yes.
is actually at another restaurant I don't know the name of. It was at a place in Normandy, Normandy,
Okay,
where
in
we ate
France?
savoury pancakes. Yeah,
Yeah.
in France.
That's the thing they do over there.
Yeah,
That's
so
traditional.
beautiful.
But do you remember what we
Suzettes and
drank
all
with
that
it?
Stuff. Apple ciders. I remember drinking an awesome apple ciders, and we got to Normandy by my uncle and auntie. They drove us around. So Jean-Pierre and Josien,
Yeah.
which is my uncle and auntie, and he was very happy to just drive us all around western side of France. I don't know
Yeah.
if it was the same trip that we went to
It was.
Le Mont Saint-Michel.
Yes.
So that was cool. 2013 maybe.
Yep.
Was that right?
Yeah.
And we did see a few chateaus. One of them, which I don't think we saw, but was quite interesting when I did a bit of research just earlier, was Chateau Guillaume le Conquérant.
No, we didn't see that one.
We didn't see it, but that dates back to 1000 AD. So if you really want to see some older chateaus,
we went on the beaches of Normandy.
You can go there.
I saw
the
a few
beaches
towns.
of Normandy.
Yeah,
we saw
all the war and the cannons
old
and
cannons and the
Very
old
cool.
the vessels that used to take the
people on
to
the beaches.
The fighters.
Quite a moving area, actually. A lot of flags from different countries up there, and but the savoury pancakes, something I hadn't had before. I think they're all made with buckwheat. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, because they were that brownie colour, darker colour.
And
they were tasty.
I think mine had like spinach and egg inside it, and I'm not sure what yours had. Do you remember? Maybe?
I think I had a savoury and I also had a sweet one. The savoury one I think had ham.
Oh, yeah.
Ham off the bone.
Yeah. It's something that you do over there. The restaurant's really quite popular. The cider.
It's folded into quarters.
Yeah.
Kind of like fold half and then fold
size.
again. Plate size,
and, the cider is really cool. It's not sweet. It's really dry and quite a speciality of the area.
Yeah, it's
really nice.
It's gorgeous. If you're ever in Normandy, do not hesitate to go eat some savoury pancakes. You might be from the other side of the world, maybe American. You think, savoury pancake. But savoury pancakes are delicious.
The other thing I just remembered, remember how we're talking at the beginning of the podcast about really amazing places and really crappy food?
Yep.
Remember Mont Saint-Michel?
Yes.
We decided, because in Mont Saint-Michel, because of the way that the tide comes in and out, there's a whole lot of sort of salty marshes around Mont Saint-Michel, which the sheep eat.
I see where you're going.
The salted grass. And so therefore their meat has this salty flavour.
It's awesome. The meat is awesome there.
But it was really disappointing.
It was overcooked.
Your
That's why.
Uncle, who was a butcher, was
he was going to kill him
by the meal. He was going to start an argument.
Yeah, my Uncle Jean-Pierre had a butchery store for a very, very long time, which he took over from his own father. So I'm actually a line of butchers.
Yeah.
But I'm a podcaster, not a butcherer. I can cut some meat.
Butcherer.
I'm a butcherer. Is that right?
Butcherer of English.
A butcher of English. Hey, I've got a short story coming out, maybe.
Potentially. You could be a published author.
Could be a published author soon. So come on, man.
Okay. All right. Cut you some slack.
Cut me some slack, girl.
What's next? Number one?
Okay, so number one, it's not necessarily the best thing. It's just the number one, was discovering real Greek food in Athens.
Oh, my gosh. Oh, no, in Greece. Can I make it in Greece?
Well, Greece. But in general, I never ate bad in Greece.
No. Not at all.
I can't say I had one single meal that was off-putting.
Not at all.
It was all good quality food, but this was special. This food was special because we had just arrived in Athens. Mm-hmm. I forget if it was the second day or if it was the first day. I think it was the first day.
Literally got off the plane, put our bags in the hotel. Literally. And then walked across the road.
So we walked across the road into this park that's called the National Garden. Mm-hmm. Which is right close to the Hellenic government building.
Syntagma Square as well.
Syntagma Square is there. Actually, nearby to it is Hadrian's Arch and Stili Olympiou Dios.
Nice.
Which are two ancient monuments for you to peruse.
Phenomenal. Beautiful.
Phenomenal stuff there. But I remember walking through this garden, which is lined by large overhanging trees and nice gravel walkways. And then you just see, like, dotted around, there's some old... what
ruins?
Do you call those? Ruins.
Like columns.
Columns and stuff. Maybe it wasn't real, but
it looked nice.
It looked real and looked really cool. But do you remember the cicadas? How loud they were, like, chirping?
Yes.
And
you're taking me back there.
You know what? Maybe this is my favorite experience because there was something about. I have this feeling about Greece, and it could have been that I spent time at a Greek school.
Yeah.
That I've learnt the national anthem. That I've got Greek friends. But something about being in Greece for the first time blew my mind, and then walking through this garden and then discovering this beautiful little cafe / restaurant under these trees.
Yes. With
vines creeping all over it, and then sitting down and feeling the warmth, and then having this great experience, this food experience, which is merely, it was two simple things. It was a Greek salad.
Yes.
And it was grilled halloumi.
That's it.
That was it. And I got a drink. I got
we both got beers.
Yeah. Which was the
Fix.
Fix beer, which is tasty beer. And I just remember all that experience of eating that good quality food,
Yeah.
drinking the beer.
How nice was the feta?
The feta was amazing.
You know that big slab of feta on top of the Greek salad?
I know.
Oh, you just pick at it.
Oh,
So good.
but just sitting there enjoying how hot it was, because it was probably 34 degrees Celsius,
Yeah.
which is 100 and something degrees Fahrenheit or something or other.
Yeah.
But I've never been so happy in a place eating before.
Yeah, me too.
I could have stayed there hours
Yeah.
in that one
We
spot.
kind of were there for a little
We
while.
were there for a long time. So we actually stayed in the Hotel Amalia, which was opposite,
Yeah, right across the road.
right across the
Good
road.
hotel,
So,
actually.
a great hotel. Actually, if you do want to stay in Athens, I do think that Syntagma Square,
Syntagma.
Syntagma Square is a really good option for you,
Yeah.
because in that vicinity you do have Hellenic government. If you walk out of the hotel and to your left and go all the way down and then left again, you got a big square of lots and lots of really nice restaurants as
Yeah,
well.
that's true.
And if you
You need a train station too.
yeah, you got the train station. But if you walk right, then you got Hadrian's Arch. You got the Stili Olympiodios,
Yeah.
and also very close is the Acropolis Museum
Yes.
and the Acropolis and all the surrounding areas.
Amazing.
It's
It's
just
a great
so
location.
cool. Awesome location and an awesome place. Greece is so much fun, and
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to try and get back to Greece one day. What do you think, Mandy?
It sounds like we want to relive this whole list, Ben.
You know what? It's never good the second time.
No, I agree.
You can't relive an experience. I must admit, you just can't.
No.
It will never be the same.
No.
Now that sounds really defeatist and negative, but I'm just a realist.
Okay.
I would rather go to Nairobi.
What? Where does this come from?
Anyway, guys, that's the end. That is the end of the podcast.
Excellent.
Because that was our top 10 food experiences in the world. Have you got anything more to say? Any experience that I maybe missed? Something that blew you away? You were eating great food in a great location.
Tag
Everything
you in
felt right.
Instagram or
Tag me in Instagram.
yeah.
What do you mean?
Just put at Travelman Podcast in your picture. That'd be great.
Yeah, so fantastic. So if you're an Instagram user like Mandy and I, and you have an amazing picture of some food or a great location, tag hashtag Travelman Podcast. All one word, don't put a space anywhere, just Travelman Podcast. And I want to see some of the best foods and experiences and locations.
Just send it anytime.
Just send it. Just do it. Get on Instagram right now. Put up a photo. Hashtag Travelman Podcast, and you could win tickets around the world.
No,
I'm only
you can't
kidding.
win anything. Just
Can't win anything, but you
thanks.
can win my love,
Yeah.
my affection for you. And I might mention you in a new podcast that's coming up.
sounds good.
So there you go. I might become your friend. Anyway, guys, thanks, Guy. One solitary person. Remember,
one
Mandy.
person.
Thanks for listening. I really appreciate it. Mandy appreciates it also. She's the part-time podcaster.
Accidental podcaster.
Part-time podcaster sounds like a proper show, though.
Oh, maybe I can put that on as a job.
Yeah, don't. Nah, do it. Do it. So you can follow me on Instagram, which is Travelman Podcast, at Travelman Podcast. Twitter, I'm at Travelman Pod.
Oh, okay. You
'Cause I
couldn't get the cast.
Couldn't get the cast in. I am on Stitcher, so you can listen to me on Stitcher. You can listen to me on FM radio, iTunes. Subscribe and comment. Make sure if you're on iTunes, always leave a comment for me and make sure you subscribe. Okay, because it's going to help me and my numbers, which are growing every day. And maybe that's about it.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm on Facebook too. I've got a page, Travelman Podcast page, and a Travelman Podcast group,
Great.
which you can join. So thank you very much. Thanks for listening. I hope you enjoyed the podcast, as Mandy and I enjoy bringing you this wonderful content.
See ya.
Ta-ta,
Bye.
cheerio, and bye-bye.